Hello, friends. It's so great to see you here. Thank you so much. I am Christiana Gaudet. This is my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, do the thing. I appreciate it. And this is our tarot meetup on YouTube. Typically, we actually do three meetups every month on YouTube. We're only doing one in the month of January, and that's because of StaarCon. We'll talk more about StaarCon later. But right now, I just want to welcome you all and thank you all so much for being here. We're going to be here for the next hour. In the first half of our time together, we do some readings. I'll discuss the format for that in just a moment. In the second half, we do some tarot study and discussion. I've got a couple of ideas, but I am also open to whatever your questions or concerns or ideas are. So, when we get started, I see a lot of people here already saying hello and so happy to see you. Go ahead and let us know where in the world you are and what deck you're working with. And so I've got four decks, four decks on my desk right now. When last we spoke, I was looking at ordering some new decks, and you helped advise me as to which decks those might be. And so I do have my brand new Modern Witch and the one I've been lusting after for months and months and months, Mystic Mondays. Do I love it as much as I thought I would? Pretty much. Pretty much. One thing I would love to talk about is when we lust after a deck for a really long time, when we finally get it, do we love it as much as we thought we would? Do we not? How does that work? Like later on, we don't have to talk about it right now, but later on, I'd love to talk about how we love or don't love our decks. It's such a funny thing. But I am working with Modern Witch, Mystic Mondays, my Light Seers Tarot, which I do love without question. I got it for the Winter Festival gift-giving holiday, and you can see I've already shuffled a bend into it. This has become a workhorse for me, and I love it. And for those of you that don't know the deck, I will show you what it looks like, right? Totally worth it, 100%. Okay, happy to see all of you here. Glad you're here. So, getting ready to do the StaarCon ad, right? We're going to talk about StaarCon. A lot of you already have your tickets for StaarCon. Some of you don't, but there is still time. StaarCon, StaarCon. It is a brand new annual tarot conference to be held in South Florida in Palm Beach Gardens. This year, though, January 2021, that's this month, in less than 2 weeks, it is being held online only for obvious reasons. We're using the Accelerants platform, which is really robust and really wonderful. We are going to have so much fun. So, we have all kinds of speakers. We got Tony Pula. We have Mary Kay Greer. We got Benabel Wen. We got Nancy Hendrickson. We have all kinds of people. Marion, who is here, Marion Kirk, will be speaking. We have just, a ton load of really fun, great stuff going on. 4 different tracks. And here's how it works. We have ticket prices starting at $5. What does $5 get you? It gets you what we call the public track, 4 classes, 4 pre-designated classes each day. So 8 classes altogether for $5. That is a deal. While you're there, you can also hang out in our exhibition hall. We've got a full-on psychic fair going on with some great vendors. And you can hang out in our lounges where you can literally see, like with video, see and talk to people about the topics that we care about most. So it's really going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so that's what $5 gets you. So the most expensive ticket is $499, but you can get, by the way, a 10% discount by using STAAR, capital S, TAAR 2021 in the discount code. It will get you a 10% discount. So what does $499 get you? It gets you the pre-conference day with me. That is a full-on day-long workshop called Operational Tarot. And it gets you the full conference, all 4 tracks. And it also gets you $100 worth of Uber Eats vouchers so that you don't have to cook the entire conference. You can just have your food delivered. Okay, so that's the high end. We've done the low end and the high end. What are other options? Other options are we had one person do just the pre-conference and then the public track. $200, there you are. You can do the Empress package, which is just the conference starting 7 p.m. Friday evening, going to, I think, like 7:30, 8 o'clock Sunday evening. Whenever we finish the closing ceremony, it'll probably be like 7:30. Okay, so you can do that, and that gets you all 4 tracks throughout the conference. You can do Temperance, which is $299. That gets you the pre-conference with me and the full conference, no food. No, actually, that's $229. Yeah, that's $229, something like that. Anyway, whatever it is. No, I think it's $299. Anyway, the point is there's a lot of options. If you want to do just one day, Saturday or Sunday, it's $125. Now, 4 tracks, unless you can clone yourself, you can't be in 4 classes all at once, can you? But whatever ticket level you have, you will be able to have access to the recordings of those classes for 30 days. What are tracks? So, yeah, Barrett, you got the big one, but without the food. That's true. So what are tracks? What that means, when you go to a conference and say at 3 o'clock in room A, there's this going on, and in room B, there's this going on, and in room 3, there's this going on. Those are all tracks, right? So the only track limitation is if you do the $5 ticket, you're only in on the public track. Barrett, it depends on how many monitors you have. I think that would also depend on how many tickets you have. I don't know if they'll let you log in more than once. I don't know. More than once at the same time. That is an interesting question. But anyway, you get the recordings nonetheless. Because those are like the 2 complaints I have heard about tarot conferences. The tarot conferences like Reader Studio, where everyone is in the same room and we do the same thing. It's one track. No choices, you just do that thing. What I hear in terms of complaints, we all love tarot conferences and we all love Reader Studio, but what I hear in terms of complaints is, I would have liked to have some choices. Now, when you go to Newt's, also a great conference, what I hear is, oh my gosh, I have to choose between all of these. I don't know what to choose. So we've solved it for you. We've given you choices and we're giving you recordings. That's how it works. So I'm about to end my commercial now, unless you have questions. If you have any questions about StaarCon, go ahead and ask. I'll be happy to answer them. But I'm about to end my commercial by saying it's coming up January 22nd through 24th. Get your tickets now. Go to StaarCon.com, StaarCon. Okay, thanks for listening to all that. Oh, David Zunker is here. He will also be presenting. We're very happy to have him. Okay, very good. So now, one more just quick shameless self-promotion. I want to let you know that even in the lead up to StaarCon, I am available for readings. I've had a couple of people reach out and say, well, I really need a reading, but I don't want to bother you right before the conference. You can bother me. It's fine. I've got a staff. You can help. You can reach out. I can help you. So if you are interested in a reading, feel free to reach out. Is StaarCon good for a novice? Yes, absolutely. And again, that's why we have so many classes. There are some classes that may feel a little over your head. There are some classes that are specific for professionals. So unless you're wondering what it would be like to be a professional, if you want to be a professional, those may not interest you. But yes, StaarCon is absolutely good for novices, for people of any level of interest, from brand new curious beginner to seasoned professional, we got plenty of information for you. Absolutely. Barrett, you're on to me. Well, husband plus Amy, I mean, yeah, all of it. Okay. Eva says, Iva says, I'm unfamiliar with some of the presenters. I listen to the StaarCon podcast, which helps me get familiar with the presenters. Oh, good. Yes, we have a podcast. Thank you so much for that, Iva. We have a podcast. It's called StaarCast, StaarCast. You can watch it in video form on the StaarCast YouTube channel right here on YouTube. Please subscribe. And you can also download it wherever you get your podcasts, and that will help you become familiar with some of our presenters that you may not know. Claire, are there downloads? So, what will happen when you get to Accelerants? We're in the process of getting all of those uploaded. But if there's a class handout, you'll have an opportunity to download it, and you won't be able to download the videos of the classes, but you will be able to watch them on the Accelerants platform for 30 days afterwards. So there will be some class materials for sure. Barrett wants to know if you can get StaarCast on Spotify. Yeah, absolutely. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts, we're everywhere. And that's a Mauser thing too. That's thanks to Amy and Ryan Mauser, because they're our producers. Absolutely. Okay, very good. So thank you all so much for being here and for saying hi. And if you would like to book a reading with me, by the way, you can just go to my website and schedule directly on the website. It is tarotbychristiana.com. Just reach out. You can email, you can schedule directly. You can also find me on Facebook. And while you're on Facebook, join the group Global Tarot Circle. That's where we sort of talk about what we're going to talk about in these meetings and all of that good stuff. All right. So now let's get going with our readings. I said I would use Modern Witch, and I won't make a liar of myself. So let me do that. If you've not seen that, good box, right? And it comes with this little hardcover book. Is that not wonderful? I really like it. All righty. So here's the format. This is a time for us to practice readings. This is a time for us to read for each other. If you have a question that you're willing to ask the group, go ahead and put your question in. If you're a reader and you've got your cards with you, go ahead and get shuffled. This is how it works. If you would like to read for someone, put their name, the name of the card you got, just one card, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. So if you have asked a question, you'll listen to what I say. I'll do it verbally. And then read through the comments to get the rest of your reading. So you get this huge reading where each of us pull a card. It really is a group tarot reading. Kind of an interesting thing to see where we contradict each other and where we're all on the same page. Take note of that. These are all teachable moments. So let's get ready. And Barrett is the first person I see with a question. I'll take these in the order I see them. Barrett, will my tarot business work into a part-time gig? The answer is Knight of Cups reversed. So here's the thing. I believe that yes, it can, but it's going to take a long time. And especially because, okay, so Knight of Cups reminds us that you recently got engaged and you're going to school and you've got a whole lot of other things going on. So it's going to take time. And remember to let your love of tarot be the most important thing. Okay. Kathy Levin, so nice to see you here. Glad you're back in Florida. How will my visit go this week with my brother and sister-in-law? And okay, if you want to read for Barrett, go ahead and put his name at Barrett Ermy Tarot, the name of the card you got in your interpretation. If you'd like to read for Kathy, go, and you can do both, do as many as you want. go ahead and put her name at Kathy Levin, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Okay, how will my visit go this week with brother and sister-in-law? Six of Pentacles, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be very good. I think you'll both be courteous to each other. You'll both try to be helpful with each other. In this particular image, we've got someone actually giving presents, like literally wrapped gifts. I don't know if you're doing that, if it's a post-holiday thing, but one way or the other, I think it will be good. Okay, raised by wolves. Will I get my job back? Nice to see you here. Glad you're here. So if you would like to do this reading at Raised by Wolves, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Okay, and lots of people are doing readings. I really appreciate this. Okay, Raised by Wolves. Will I get my job back? Two of Pentacles reversed, yes, but not until you have another job. You're going to be super busy. Okay. Mystics Haven. What do I need to focus on at this time? If you would like to do this reading at Mystics Haven, the name of the card you got, your interpretation. Here we go. Queen of Wands. You need to focus on nurturing your creativity and nurturing all the fire energy within you. That is creativity, passion, spirituality, humor, sexuality, intuition, all of it. And have fun while you're doing it. Iva Morris. I've scheduled to take a certification exam this month. Will it be helpful for my career? Okay, if you'd like to do this reading at Iva Morris, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. The Hermit reversed. So first of all, I think you already know this information and all of that, but this will help other people know that you know, and so yes, it will help you. Baby Cakes, nice to see you back here. Glad you're here. What will 2021 bring me? If you would like to do this reading at Baby Cakes, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Five of Wands. What will 2021 bring me? Five of Wands. So interesting. And I'm just noticing that two of the five people are wearing face masks. And I just wonder, like, when was this deck published? I'm looking for a year. Because that seems pretty darn modern here in the U.S., you know, to have, especially to have that be the five. So isn't that cool? Anyway, I'm just getting used to this deck. It's a fun deck. Okay, so what will 2021 bring you, Baby Cakes? A couple of things. I think you will have some interesting collaborations with people. I think you will have some creative growth. I think you will find your voice in certain ways that you have not had it before. That may cause some issues, but I think it's ultimately a good thing. Melanie Partis, so nice to see you. Will I resolve my upheavals this winter? Okay, if you'd like to do this reading at Melanie Partis, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. What do we think? Okay. The Ten of Pentacles reversed. So I know some of your upheavals have been about family and some of them have been about working on your house, both of which are related to the Ten of Pentacles. The fact that it's reversed suggests there are some things that will carry over beyond winter into the spring, but it doesn't seem horrible. It seems okay. Daniel Acosta, so nice to see you here. What do I need to know about my tarot journey since I'm just starting? Well, first of all, let me put down my cards and just say from my heart, welcome. Come to StaarCon. And, you know, I'm going to give you my favorite piece of advice for new readers. Do not worry about whether you're good at tarot. Worry about how tarot is good for you. Okay, now I'll go to the cards. And welcome. You know, your tarot friends are your best friends. It's great to be part of a tarot community, and we're so glad that you're here. Okay, what do you need to know about your tarot journey? The King of Pentacles. Hey, this could be really good for you. It could be very grounding for you. It could help you. It could advise you in terms of career. And ultimately, you might want to take it, you're just beginning, so it's totally up to you. But you may find it sticks with you for your lifelong journey, and you may want to take it pretty far. You may even have what it takes to become a leader, a professional, an artist, a writer, whatever, any of that. There's a place for you big time in this community, and there's a place in your life for tarot. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so again, if you want to do that one, and please do, let's give Daniel a big welcome. At Daniel Acosta, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. And thank you, everyone, so much for participating in this by giving readings. It's a great community activity, and it's a great chance for us all to practice. Okay, Sophie Roberts, what compatibility issues might there be? So she doesn't tell us compatibility with what? She could have gotten a new pet. There could be a new relationship. We don't know. We're just going to go with it. Okay. If you want to do this reading at Sophie Roberts, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation, what compatibility issues might there be? Okay, woundedness from the past. One or both of you may have some situations, some issues from the past where you're still wounded. There may be defensiveness. There may be issues around boundaries. And there may be lack of patience. Now, those may not necessarily be deal breakers as long as you're aware of it and work with it. Okay, Ashriel, so nice to see you. How do I keep myself stress-free in the remaining months with our building council? Oh man, as soon as you mention the word council, committee, any of that, there's stress-free does not exist in that environment, does it? Let's take a look and see. If you would like to do this reading at Ashriel Knight, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Okay, once again, I got the Hermit reverse, but obviously there's going to be a whole different interpretation here for you, Ashriel. I think that you can really be friends with members on the council. Remember that you are friends. Remember to follow good protocol, even though you are friends. Do not use the friendship as an excuse to drop protocol. Know that we're friends, keep good protocol, and have some social time with each other in whatever way you can as well. And it'll all be good. Ooh. So Sheila, is it Sheila Lawyer? Is that how we say that? Maybe? I'm interested, or Shaloyer. Is that it? I'm interested in entering politics. What office should I run for? That's so interesting. We'll see. I mean, that's such a specific kind of question. Let's see what the cards say. This is a very good exercise in tarot interpretation. Let's have some fun with this one. If you'd like to do this reading at Shaloyer, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. 9 of Swords. So this tells me that you want to run, first of all, to get in where you can. And it tells me that you really want to make a difference, that you're not doing this to build a great career for yourself. And you're not doing this out of grandiose whatever or narcissism. You're doing this because you see problems and you want to help. So you run for whatever office you can get in at the beginning. Wherever you can get community support to get in, that's where you run. And you try from a very grassroots level to make a difference. Okay, lots of great readings happening. Hey, David Victor. David Victor has written a play. And this will be available after the fact, too, if you don't get to it. If you have a Sunday ticket or a ticket that covers Sunday. David Victor has written a play. It will be shown. We're doing dinner theater for luncheon on Sunday at StaarCon. And oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so worth doing. So worth seeing. Okay. Okay, let's see. Neil Quatrano, my health is in question. Is what I have COVID or C. diff? I know you're not doctors, or is it stress related? So we're not doctors, but what can we say about Neil's health? Obviously, he's a smart guy. I'm sure he is seeing a doctor and, asking the right questions of the doctor. But what do we see for Neil's health? Six of Cups, which makes me think if you have been COVID exposed, it could very likely be COVID. But it also, with the Six of Cups, we could also be looking at something hereditary. So look at hereditary things as well. Okay, and if you'd like to do that reading, at Neil Quatrano, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. La Morena Senpena, so nice to see you. Similar question to Barrett. Any advice, info, or even just a celebration on my new Business Tarot and Mystic Pro page? Yay! And, everyone, we do shameless self-promotion at the end, but make sure you all like and follow and friend each other on social media. Make sure. And make sure, La Morena, Barrett, all y'all working to build a business, that you do your shameless self-promotion here, because that's part of what we are here to do. Okay, La Morena. Eight of Swords. Do not be anxious. Just go for it, girl. You got this. Do not be anxious. Okay, do this reading at La Morena Senpena. The name of the card you got and your interpretation. Let's give her some encouragement. Okay, Marion K. Tarot, published 2019 in October, which is funny. So the face masks, because that's what you're talking about. You're answering my question about which is tarot. So that was just like really, really smart of them. And so funny because there's so many arguments about, do masks work? Do they not? Should we require them? Should we not? It's like this big, big issue. I'm not sure why, but it is. And that Five of Wands, where two of the people are masked and they're all fighting with each other. It's funny how tarot works that way, that we can see more in it later than the artist put it in the beginning. It's magical that way. That's so great. Okay. Becoming me. Should I make this my last year at my job? Interesting question. If you would like to do this reading at Becoming Me, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. The Sun. You get to do whatever the heck you want to do. Whatever makes you happy is what you should do, my friend. Okay. Angel for Butterbeans. And let me just say hi, Mercedes and Sarah. Great to have you. Glad you're here. Angel for Butterbeans. Will I find what I'm looking for regarding my house history and genealogy? If you would like to do this reading, at Angel for Butterbeans, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Queen of Swords. Yes, I believe you will. You'll find what you're looking for. Claire C. What should I focus on in the coming year? If you'd like to do this reading, at Claire C, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Claire C, Three of Swords reversed, healing. It's all about healing. Whether you are healing yourself, healing others, it's just all about healing. Being part of the healing energy needed on this planet. Okay, if you'd like to do that reading, at Claire C, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Okay. Lori Wisnia, my romantic relations in the next few years. If you would like to do this reading, at Lori Wisnia, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. What do you think? What will the... Oh, card on the floor, card on the floor. Hang on. Got to go with the card that jumped. Four of Swords. So I'm not so sure about that, Lori. I feel like you may need to do some healing from things that have happened in the past. I feel like you need to make sure that if you find a relationship or have a relationship or nurture a relationship, you cannot let it steal your peace. There's a story there, and there's some healing that needs to be done, I believe. Okay. And again, if you'd like to do that reading, at Lori Wisnia, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Ashley, will I be successful as an insurance agent? If you would like to do this reading, at Ashley, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Temperance, if you take the time and do it and make it happen, yes, you'll be very successful. Okay, lots of great readings happening. Sarah, I'm taking a few weeks off next month. I just need a mental break from work and I have no plans. What should I do? How can I get the most out of this R&R time? If you'd like to do this reading, at Sarah, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Seven of Wands, have really good boundaries. Don't feel like you have to do all the things. Take time for yourself and do exactly whatever the F you want. Okay. Tina Marie, what does the new year have in store for me? If you would like to do this reading, at Tina Marie, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Queen of Swords, I think this is going to be a time of really learning to speak your truth, of learning to nurture what is important to you, and learning to feel stronger in yourself. Okay, so we are coming to the end of our time doing readings. I'm still going to scroll through and look for more, but I want to open up the floor to questions about tarot. Do you have questions about a particular card, about a technique, about a reading you did, about a particular deck? Anything you want to talk about regarding tarot? And my question, and you can tag it new decks, my question is, are you ever completely satisfied with a new deck? How do you process a new deck? If there's like a particular card or two that you don't love, what do you do? You know, just talk to me about how you love or don't love new decks and what your deal is with that. Okay, and any other tarot questions, now's the time to ask. And I'm going to keep on scrolling through. And thank you all for all the great readings. I'm just scrolling through here. Okay. Lots and lots of great readings going on here. Thank you all so much for participating. And if I missed you, if you put in requests for a reading and I didn't see it, now's the time to reiterate it. And okay, Sugar Maven, nice to see you. Takes me forever to open a new deck. I have a backlog of things to open, but I'm always trying to get more intimate with the cards that I always use. Right, and what defines, like I've got more than 150 decks. Some of them I don't really know at all. Some of them I've used to death and can't use professionally anymore. I just keep them, lend them out to students or whatever. Some of them are sort of my brand new decks that I'm trying to figure out where they're going to fit in and what they're going to be and what they're going to do. Such an interesting process, right? Raised by Wolves, new deck. I lusted after Prisma Visions and finally got it. The artwork is so visually dark, I have a hard time seeing what the card is trying to tell me. Not as happy as I thought it'd be. And you know what? Whether we like the art or not, it is so interesting. There are some decks where I love the art, but it just leaves me flat in divination. Other decks that I do not like the art. Dreaming Way Tarot is an amazing example of this. I do not like the art in Dreaming Way Tarot. I recognize that Ram Choi is a great artist. I do not like the art. However, when I did some readings with it, it was really, really just like butter, man. It just read. And so I don't have to necessarily like the art to have it be a good working deck for me. And just because I like the art does not necessarily mean that it will be. So isn't that interesting? Have you had that experience as well? Dave, new deck. I accept every card as the author artist intended. I knew someone who discarded all the cards that made her nervous. I do not think that's the way to go. Yeah, I don't like that. You might as well read a book and just rip out pages you don't like. I don't like it. Okay, hey, here's a late question. Let's go ahead and do this. Peggy Lou Levens, what's going on for me in 2021? If you'd like to do this reading, at Peggy Lou Levens, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. What's going on for you? Four of Wands. Stability, happiness, celebration, community, relationships, all kinds of good stuff. Actually, it's not a bad thing. David Zonker, nice to see you. After my first decade, I grew into the Kabbalistic tarot system. And if a deck doesn't measure up to this, then it's wrong for me. I think you make a great point, David. Because if we have a particular system or tradition that we like to work with, we're going to want the decks that really are created to work with that or resonate with that or are within that tradition. Like I'm really a weight girl. I like some Crowley, and I am a person, I'll use a weight deck with Crowley keywords if that's what feels right for me at that time. Yeah, we definitely sort of, I think we find what we want in a deck and then find the decks that fit well enough within that. Dina, nice to see you. Each new deck is so seductive. I know, right? I'm glad most of them aren't terribly expensive. I try to use one a month and have watched Boho Tarot, who uses decks seasonally. I love that. Very good. Okay, Claire, here's a tarot question. Let's play with this. And if you want to respond to this, tag it Wednesday. Okay, she's referring to something that has become an interesting thing in the history of the United States, recognizing that we are an international crowd here, and we are a crowd probably with many different ideas about different things. But Claire was, let's see, Claire drew the Emperor next to the King of Cups reversed and the Seven of Swords. Just with an open question. I thought this reflected the outcome of the riot on Wednesday. Could this be correct? So I could certainly see, okay, Emperor being government, King of Cups reversed being how most of us are really sad about how that all went down. And Seven of Swords, Seven of Swords is perfect regardless of which side you're on, the side of truth or the side of disinformation. But whichever side you're on, each side feels like they have been lied to. You know, there is sort of an evidence trail that points to a particular truth, but each side feels like they've been lied to. So Seven of Swords is perfect. I think so. And David Zunker says, handle is so odd, but you can do readings with it. Yes, it's a whole different tradition. The way it does the directions, very different from sort of Western occult. But an interesting deck, isn't it? I really love that deck too. Karen Maynard just got some new decks for Christmas solstice, winter solstice, and almost every time I opened a new deck, I am not thrilled. But as I cleanse, bless, and connect to the deck, I begin to love it. You know, I think that's it. You know, I think we are all each looking for the quintessential deck where we love every single of the 78 cards in the deck. I've not found one. I have been working with tarot for more than 30 years, and I have yet to find the quintessential deck. There is every single deck where I might say, yeah, I love it all except for that card. I do that card differently. Still read with the decks, it's fine. And sometimes the way I feel about a card will change depending on the readings. But, you know, isn't that interesting? Hey, Cassandra, glad you made it. Nice to see you. Mystics Haven, I only have 2 decks and work with only one for the past year, the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. I really want to get another one for variety, but I just can't find one I'm drawn to. And that's an interesting thing too. If you want another deck, but you're not sure which one, I would really start going with traditions. Get a decent weight deck, get a decent Crowley deck, you know, and start building your collection based on sort of the must-haves of tradition, really, just because you learn from them. Okay, Marianne, new decks. I have 3 main types of decks I buy. Some are an investment, some are just for me and social media posts, and the others are for clients, right? I totally hear that. Raised by Wolves. Yes, I have the Greenwood Tarot, not a fan of the artwork. When the Wildwood came out, I loved the artwork, but can't connect with the deck like I do the Greenwood. I know, right? It's so interesting. La Morena, about love. Love for the next few years. Okay, that's a reading. If you ask for love for the next few years, La Morena has something for you. Okay, so let's see where we're at here. Oh, Daniel, thank you for sharing this. This is what Daniel says. A lot of you have heard me somewhat be dismissive of the deck interview process, and this is the example why. From Daniel. Thank you for your previous advice on doing a get to know your deck spread. I interviewed my Monstero, and it felt like someone was scolding me. I never picked it up again. I plan to use it often now. Right? Do not let the deck interview be a thing that causes you to do whatever you're going to do with your deck. If it helps you get to know your deck, fine. But I'm all about just dive in and do a regular reading, a real reading. That's all. Okay. What are good oracle decks? This is a question from Marianne. I'd love to talk about that. Okay, go ahead and tag it #oracle. And what I want to know is, what oracle decks do you love and why, and what makes a good oracle deck? Now, for clarity, we're going to talk nomenclature for a moment. Technically, the word oracle means any tool that you use. So tarot is an oracle, Lenormand is an oracle, dice, runes, they're all oracles. Oracle also means the person doing the reading. We're all oracles. Oracle also means the place where you do the reading. Here I am in my oracle. Oracle also means the message. We've been giving oracles to each other. However, in our community, for the sake of convenience and brevity, we have designated the term oracle deck to describe decks for divination, decks designed for divination that do not fall within a particular system or tradition. So they're not tarot, they're not Kipper, they're not Lenormand. Okay, so when we talk about Oracle decks, that's what we mean. So tag it Oracle deck. What are your favorites? What do you like in an Oracle deck? How do you use it? Talk to us about Oracle decks. And my favorite is Conscious Spirit Oracle deck. I love that one from US Games. And I like to play with Oracle decks. I don't typically use them in professional readings, but I love to use them in a group. If I get a group together, let's all pull a card and talk about it. I love to play with it when we're doing classes on intuition to help people see how cartomancy can help with your intuition. That's how I like to use it. Okay. Okay, La Morena decks. I take a long time doing extensive research on the decks and their creators. The imagery is most important to me. I can be flexible with the rest, systems, names, etc., or if one or two cards are bad. Yep. Okay, here's one. Tag it bad cards. What's the very worst single card that just drives you crazy? For me, it's the Princess of Wands in Spiral Tarot, which is one of my favorite decks. But she's got this weird little baby dragon monster next to her that I don't like. Sorry, it's just me. Okay. Oh, and also in Sun and Moon Tarot, I hate the Emperor. He's the Emperor, but he needs to do his homework and take out the trash. I swear to goodness. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Okay, regarding the Claire's question about Wednesday from Kathy, loss of power, need to rebuild. Sure. Makes sense. La Morena, decks, I might be okay with that. If a card makes me uncomfortable, I try to figure out a way. I love strong emos in decks, but I actually gotta like the art. Yep. Dina, new decks. I almost feel ready for pip decks. Now, there's two ways to go with that, okay? One is the deck in your head, where you just know, it's Seven of Pentacles. You know what Seven of Pentacles is, and then let your intuition take you the rest of the way. The other is to actually, there are, like, if you're looking at a Marseille deck, there are specifics to the Marseille system that I don't know, that I can't teach you, but I know they exist. La Morena, imagery can be difficult, but the art style has to work for me. I don't know if there's a perfect or soul deck. Some people make their own, so we'll see. I used to be super traditional, but not now, right? Okay, Dave, regarding Wednesday, the sun reversed. We have to coexist in this country, and it looks like there's going to be trouble doing that. The shine may be gone from the apple now, but we need to focus on the light. There you go. Sarah, decks, is the Crowley deck called... Okay, this is why I call it Crowley, because how the heck do you pronounce this word? Thoth. I've heard Thoth, Toth, Toth, and Tahote. And I like to go with Tahote, but no one ever knows what I'm talking about when I say it, because I believe, according to all the Egyptologists I know, and I actually do know some, Tahote would be the right pronunciation. So if anyone can help me with the right pronunciation of that word, please. Yes, it's the same thing, and yes, do buy one. But if you can, get the one in the purple box distributed by US Games. It comes with 80 cards, like 3 extra Magus cards, more than 80 cards, 81 cards. No, that would be 80 cards. No, never mind. Anyway, three Magus, 2 extra Magus, or Magus, however you want to say that. And yes, definitely get it. Mercedes, new deck. I'm so attached to my RWS Universal and Radiant decks that when I get a new deck, I look for the energy of my usual decks, and then I feel insecure of missing something. Excuse me. So, can I share something with you that will help? And this comes from Wald Amberstone of the Reader Studio and the Tarot School. He said this to me years ago, and I've never forgotten it. We trust the universe to bring the right querent with the right question to the right reader with the right deck in the right moment. Karen Maynard, are we reading for last Wednesday or looking up what we pulled on that day? I thought we were, and we can do whatever you want to do, but I think Claire was wondering about her interpretation of those cards. The Emperor, the Seven of Swords and the King of Cups reversed, if you felt those cards connected to that, but anything else you want to do with it is fine as well. I bought a Sawyer deck. It's interesting, different, and assertive. I just purchased a Lenormand, waiting for it to arrive. So we're going to have a couple of Lenormand things going on at StaarCon and a whole Lenormand lounge. So, come play with us there. La Morena says, regarding Wednesday, definitely think those cards relate. Mercedes, is it true that when you use a different deck you are not used to, you stretch your intuition? I would say that's a very personal thing, but perhaps. It makes sense to me. Okay, anyone else? Okay, tag it intuition. The question, if you use a deck that you're not used to, does it stretch your intuition? Tag it intuition. Let me know what you think. Dave Zunker, I usually christen a new deck by using it for a loved one family member. That's beautiful. I love it. Ashwell, regarding oracles, all decks by Sandra Ann Taylor, Endall, Sharon Ann Klingler. They're twin sisters and they make decks. I don't know those decks, so everyone take it down. Check it out. Sugar Maven, regarding the oracles, love animal spirit, so thoughtfully done. Love Kim Cran's work, and the cards feel divine. That is likely my next deck will be the Tarot, Wild Unknown Tarot. That's likely my next one. Dave, regarding oracles, I distrust angel oracle decks since I heard they were revised by religious types because the traditional tarot made them nervous. In some cases, and I think what you're really looking at there is Doreen Virtue specifically, although there's a lot of love for her decks too. So, do what you like. Do what you like. Dina, Oracle deck, Moonology cards give a good ending to a tarot reading. The idea of ending a tarot reading by pulling one Oracle card, I think, is a beautiful practice. I really love that. Pamela Thies, good to see you. Oracle cards. I love Iris Oracle and also love Illuminated Earth Oracle. Both have a balance of light and dark. Okay, Claire, I like the Animal Spirit and the Osho Zen Tarot, which really speaks to me. Beautiful. Peggy Lou, Oracle, The Awakened Soul by Ethany Dawn. It's gorgeous, well written, usually on point. Well, you can't go wrong with Ethany. She's a class act, 100%. La Morena, Oracle, I'm very selective and will only have a few. I prefer Tarot Lenormand way more. I think the tradition and energy helps me since oracles are so personal. I really need to vibe with the creator and the art. Marion, just learning. Any suggestions on getting better with the court cards? Come to StaarCon, where Maria Luisa Salazar will be doing a session on court cards twice, once in Spanish and once in English. But you know what? Okay, here's my quick thing on how to do court cards. Just like we have numbers and elements in the minor arcana, and each minor arcana card will be number plus element equals card, have keywords for your ranks of your courts, keywords for your elements, rank plus element equals court card, right? That's my quick way to do it. And I have a class on court cards that I just did live on Zoom, but you can buy it in replay on my Teachable store, which is called Card and Craft Academy. Just go to Card and Craft Academy online and you can get that class. I think it's like $35. Okay. And we only have a few minutes, but if anyone has quick wisdom on court cards, go ahead and tag it court cards and put it on in. Okay, Becoming Me. I love Divine Dog Wisdom cards. La Morena. For Marion, suggesting videos. Brian McCormick has good ones, as well as Ellen Goldberg regarding the court cards. Very good. Sugar Maven, bad cards. I love the Morgan Greer deck. Me too. But the men with the 70s mustaches make me feel a little cheesy. I'm so with you. Daniel, Oracle, The Enchanted Map is great. The book was very useful. So good. Karen, Oracle decks. I have several faves. A few are Wild Wisdom of the Fairy, Energy Oracle, Wisdom of Avalon, Keepers of Light. Very good. David Zunker, do not like Osho because the Two of Swords labeled schizophrenia is just wrong. Yeah, that would drive me nuts. I agree. Okay. La Morena, pronounced differently. The Crowley deck pronounced differently depending on culture, language, but correct. Closest English pronunciation is like tote. Right, makes sense. Marion, bad cards. I detest the Ten of Swords in the Wild Unknown Tarot. It's got worms and all sorts of yucky stuff on it. That's hilarious. Yep. La Morena, Crowley, but everything says it with soft thus. Yeah, thoth. Right. Right. Okay. Melanie, regarding the intuition question, unfamiliar deck is a conversation for me with additional input from the artist. Sure. La Morena, bad card. 78 Tarot, for example, sometimes has weird ones since each card is from a different artist. Also, Oracle of the Mermaid has 2 whitewashed goddesses, I believe. One for sure, very disrespectful. Yeah, I hear you. Mercedes, is it okay to replace cards you don't like in a new deck with ones from your usual decks, the best of both worlds? You know, if it works for you, I mean, I think pretty much everything is okay if it works, right? Pamela, I had to get rid of Wild Unknown without even using it. Gorgeous, but felt so violent to me. As an animal lover, I just couldn't. Also, the inconsistency in the pips drove me nuts. Lori, I do not like the 9 and 10 of Swords in any deck, huh? Well, and those are hard cards. If you go to my live tarot webinars playlist, you will find a class I did a while ago called Making Friends with the Suit of Swords that you'll find very helpful right here on this channel. Dina, Oracle cards. Oracle of Mother Mary, quite beautiful like a prayer. Iva, Wednesday, 2 of Cups reversed, a passionate division in our country, certainly. Robin, thank you for the meetup. Well, thank you for being here. Tina Marie says, sure, Marchetti Tarot of Dreams, but I don't know what you're saying about it. You like it? You don't like it? I like it. Peggy Lou likes Ethany Dawn's book, Your Court Cards, if you want to learn about court cards. I agree, very good book. Hey, we are about 3 minutes away from ending. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Don't forget to get your StaarCon ticket. Go to the website, StaarCon.com, and everyone drop your shameless self-promotion now. Your Insta, your website, your channel, wherever you want people to find you. Drop it here so that we can be friends with each other going forward. Now, this is the last thing we're doing in January here on YouTube. I promise you, very, very soon in the live tarot webinars playlist, you will see the new dates for February. I have the dates, but I'm just getting them up. You will see the new dates for February, where once again, there will be 2 classes and 3 meetups, and I hope to see you at them. In the meanwhile, I am available for your readings. Go to my website, tarotbychristiana.com. You can sign up for my newsletter. You can book a reading. Whatever you want to do, you can do. And read my blogs, all of that. Read my tarot poetry, whatever you want. And it takes about a day for the chat to come back up when you see this in archive. But if you want to go back into the archive and get people's contacts and so you can connect with them, please do. But drop your shameless self-promotion now. And I will look forward to seeing you. Pamela wants to know how I'm feeling about my new decks. Pretty damn wealthy, to be honest. I'm really happy. Really happy with them. Overall, by and large, really happy. Really happy. And thank you all so much for being here. You know, we started doing these meetups 3 times a month because of COVID here on YouTube, because I was lonely. And thank you for being part of this wonderful community. We'll keep doing it even once COVID is solved because it's so much fun. So thank you all for being here. I see that people are dropping their shameless self-promotion, so definitely check that out. We will look forward to seeing you. Sarah says, hasta la StaarCon. Yes, indeed. You still have time to get your tickets. If you want a ticket for Operational Tarot, the pre-conference on Friday, Wednesday's the cutoff for that. Not this Wednesday, the Wednesday before StaarCon. So that would be like January 20th will be the cutoff for that. Everything else you can get right up through whenever, even on Saturday, you can get the ticket for Sunday if you want. So go ahead and make it happen. Will artists be selling their wares? Yes. We have some really interesting vendors. We've got readers, of course. You can get a great reading. We've got some artists selling their decks. We've got, there's two kinds of vendors. There's vendors where they've got like a video or some pictures. You can request a meeting and talk to them and make your order. And we've also got a couple of vendors where they're live streaming in. And so, you can say, no, I want a bigger one. They can show it to you. It's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. It really is the next best thing to be in there. So I will look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you all so much. We will see you soon. Remember to join Global Tarot Circle on Facebook. And remember to like this video, please, and to subscribe to this channel. I thank you all so much.